To the surprise of absolutely no one, the Mandalorian and Grogu is officially in trouble with lower box office projections than Solo, according to Collider. And we got some other reports out here that it's underperforming in Europe, and they were hoping that the overseas market would carry it. And I just don't think people want to pay to go see more Disney Plus on the big screen.
Well, did it open early in Europe? Because that would be yesterday when previews were hitting.
Yeah, I think
they
it
had
did.
previews at the same time.
I think they had previews at the same time. They said, yeah, it's actually tracking to, according to Global Box Office, Blue Check, it's now tracking to have the worst global opening weekend ever for a Star Wars film. It might not even hit 150 million by Sunday. Now, I want to put a little asterisk there because yes and also no. Technically, just in the interest of fairness, technically, the Clone Wars animated movie was the worst performing Star Wars movie of all time.
But you know what's funny? They all step over that, and it's so relevant to the new movie.
Yeah, because we just did a review of The Mandalorian and Grogu, but without going into spoiler territory, this one is effectively a sequel to the Clone Wars animated movie on so many levels. But it did 14 million opening weekend. However, the production budget was only $8 million. It was a cartoon. Yeah. And it was technically just the pilot for the Clone Wars series. They just decided to smush those episodes together, part 1 and 2 or whatever, released as a movie in the theater. And people are like, "What, cartoon Star Wars? What's up with this?" It didn't do very well. But for live action Star Wars, yeah, it's not looking good. So we're going to talk about it. We also did a review. You can find a review on the channel, and we were fair. We tried
to be fair. Yeah.
It's objectively, it's not terrible, but it's not going to be the second coming of Star Wars, definitely. And I think just a lot of people are looking at it and they're like, this just looks like the Disney Plus show. Why should I pay to go see it in the movie theater? Mm-hmm. Right? So a lot of people aren't going to do that. They're not going to pay to go see it in the movie theater.
And quite frankly, it is basically just the Disney Plus show.
It is.
It's just more of, I'm not going to lie. It definitely seems like it was the next season. They just turned it into a movie.
So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo. This
is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
This is Clownfish TV, and if you'd like more Clownfish TV, in fact, I just posted a new more episode this morning. Go out to more.clownfishtv.com, and we have a whole bunch of podcasts and episodes out there that you will not find on YouTube. So thank you very much for the support. Let's go look at a couple of these tweets here. We got Collider, The Mandalorian and Grogu may be bringing Star Wars back to theaters, but its box office start is raising some eyebrows. That's obviously written by
Everybody knew this was going to happen. Like, why would it raise eyebrows? If you've been following this at all, they keep downgrading it.
Yeah.
I mean, the modern box office anyway is doing absolute crap overall. I mean, you get some winners, but for the most part, previews not doing super well is not that unusual. But when it came to this one, I don't understand. If you did this movie like 3 or 4 years ago, I think it would have been a win. You waited too long. People have checked out of Star Wars. There's so much competition coming. I don't know why this should be a surprise to anyone.
The film earned only $12 million in Thursday previews, lower than Solo. And that was how many years ago, right?
2018, I think.
Yeah. Though strong audience reactions could help it avoid the same fate at the box office, currently sitting at 88% with audiences on Rotten Tomatoes. Solo did pretty good with audiences, too. The latest Star Wars adventure seems to be connecting with fans far more than critics. Do you think it's going to be a hit? No.
No, it's connecting. Okay, here's the thing about that, and I mentioned it in the other video, too. It's connecting with fans far more than critics, because the fans that want to see it are going to go the opening weekend.
Yes.
Of course the reviews are going to be good because you're going in with people that they're just like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, or I'm a huge Mandalorian fan. Pedro Pascal is my daddy kind of people. And they're going in early and they're going to review it really, really well just because they wanted to see it. But then the truth is, how much is it going to drop off next week? Because after everybody who wants to see it sees it and it's giving it really good reviews, is that going to hold up?
No, I think that you're right. I think same with Marvel now. The people that want to see the latest Marvel thing always go opening weekend, and then we see it crash the following weekend. So all the Star Wars diehards, the diehards that are left, we're going to go see this preview night, because we used to do that for every Star Wars everything. We used to go on preview night, and then after The Last Jedi, man, it just got real easy to not go at all. We're just like, yep, we're not going at all. So this is coming from Global Box Office 2. Mandalorian and Grogu has officially recorded the worst domestic previews for a Star Wars movie since Disney's acquisition. Again, Clone Wars. I don't know if you'd count that because it's a cartoon, but now it's all canon, so maybe we do. I don't know. Force Awakens 2015, 57 million on preview. Rogue One, 29 million preview. Last Jedi, 45 million. Solo, 14 million. Rise of Skywalker, 40 million.
And honestly, this movie was better than most of the things on the list.
Yeah, objectively, if I'm gonna be honest with it, and again, go watch our review. We were fair. I would say that I enjoyed this one more than any of the sequel episodes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, for whatever it's worth, this is not the worst Disney Star Wars. It's just, it's something that you can get at home.
That's just it. It's not terrible, but a lot of people are just going to be like, I'll just wait for it at home because it's going to be like season 4. And it really honestly does seem like it was season 4.
Yeah, it was. So this is coming from Collider. The Mandalorian and Grogu began playing in theaters around the world yesterday, and the first box office information about the film has finally surfaced online. Reports indicate that The Mandalorian and Grogu earned $12 million on Thursday, which is lower than Solo, which was $14 million. Solo is widely considered a box office flop after ending its run with $392 million at the global box office, but only time will tell if Mandalorian and Grogu will suffer the same fate. It will. I think this one's going to drop off quicker. Or if it will outlast middling reviews to become a financial success. The film currently sits at scores of 63% from critics and 88% from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes. That doesn't mean shit these days.
No.
I'm going to be honest. It really doesn't.
It's really easy to cheat the numbers, too. It's more so on the audience score than the critical score.
Now, I said Solo had a poor 63% from audiences. I think it was Solo, like, look, there were some issues with Solo for sure, and trying to recast Harrison Ford, I think, was a mistake. But objectively, I think that one was good too. And I think a lot of people were angry about The Last Jedi, so they were kind of hate watching.
People were boycotting it. They were boycotting it because they were mad about The Last Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to go well for them at all. This is coming from Comic Book Movie. The Mandalorian and Grogu worldwide box office opening projections revealed following mixed reviews. So they're saying overseas, the movie is eyeing a similar 80 million start, according to Deadline. They're saying 160 million global debut, but the other account said that in Europe it's scrubbed out.
Yeah.
Yesterday, and we're not going to have the official. Yeah.
Well, this was before. This is before it released overseas. This is the 19th.
Oh yeah, it was 19th. Yeah, and they're saying it's scrubbed out. So I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. I think that it's going to come in lower. I don't think it's going to like crash and burn, but I think it's going to be significantly lower than they expected because every Disney movie, for the most part, seems to come in lower than what the projections are. And they're obviously worried about this one because they're pulling out all the stops.
I think people are just tired of Star Wars.
Yeah,
and
they
Marvel
are.
Too. I mean, Spider-Man not so much, but like they're just tired of it. Like live action reimaginings, tired of it. They're just tired. People are tired, and they're tired of the overabundance of films at the box office. They're tired of Hollywood screaming at them. They're tired of people lecturing them. They're tired of, everything being ruined and being sucked now. So I just think that I don't think this video is going to do that great either. I'm not going to lie to you because people don't care.
So
flat out, they don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a massive drop off in the interest in Star Wars and Marvel videos over the last couple of years because nobody cares about these franchises. Doctor Who, like all these franchises have been killed, murdered. And Star Wars, I think more than any of the other franchises, has become kind of the poster child for quote unquote woke Hollywood destroying a movie franchise, right? And I think some people are just going to not go or even give it a chance because of that. I think and I talked about this before we went to go see the movie. I said you could theoretically put out the best Star Wars movie ever and people will still boycott it because it's Star Wars. They won't go see it because they've completely checked out. And we walked out of the theater and we had a conversation and I said, hey, that was actually it was better than I thought it was going to be. But I'm like, I am never going to rekindle my interest in Star Wars because of all the shit, especially we've been through in the commentary space with the freaking weirdos that are, standing for Lucasfilm and all this crazy shit that's been going on around Star Wars. I am never going to be a big Star Wars fan again.
No,
It's
because
never going to
it's
happen.
like you're all bright eyed and you're like all full of wonder and you're full of all this like excitement and stuff when you're younger, and there's like more and more shit happens to you. It's like you never can return to that time where you're like innocent and you like just love things because you love. You're never going to be able to return to that. It's like that, but with Star Wars.
Yeah. And that's just it. And then, people associated with Lucasfilm and, dumb shit Mark Hamill said, and keeps saying, like, I have zero interest in Star Wars. And if you still love it, good for you. Good for you. I used to love it too. And I
wish I didn't feel this way. I wish I still loved it.
I wish I could go back, 6 or 7 years and, unwatch some of the movies and stay out of the internet drama in some ways, because I'm like, at least I would.
It's longer than 6 or last 10 years.
Last 10 years, just reset the clock. Yeah, last 10 years. Because, as soon as you get involved in this shit and all the online shit, like it does ruin franchises for it. Like, you don't want to have it when you know too much about the people who make the stuff. You don't want to be associated with it. Even if they put out good stuff, it's like, yeah, but that guy's a shithead and he was saying shit things on, it's like, it was better. I think we were better off not knowing how the sausage was made and not knowing.
Well, I think that's the problem, because I think no matter how cute Grogu is, no matter how much you like Mandalorian Grogu season 1 and 2, they did season 3, and this is several years too late. And I just think that people just aren't going to come because they just don't care.
Yeah.
And whose fault's that, Disney?
That is entirely on Disney, yeah. So they're saying, so this is changing. This is coming from Variety. Variety, they were, it's 160 million over the weekend. It's going to, now they're saying it's projected to make 80 to 100 over the extra long Memorial Day weekend.
But I think 160 was supposed to be global, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was global, yeah. But they said Solo opened with 103 after making 14 million previews. I don't even know if it's going to hit that. I don't think it's going to hit. I think it's going to
go less than Solo. I really think it is.
Yeah, because Solo, people were still willing to get, like, okay, we had The Last Jedi. It wasn't great. We're still willing to give it a chance. It's Han Solo. It's Chewie. It's the Falcon. It's Lando. We'll give this.
However, is Disney going to try to pull some stuff? And the reason I'm asking this is because my daughter was telling us how her friend at work and her boyfriend were excited because they were going to go watch it, and they bought tickets. And then her boyfriend told her that they were going to refund their tickets because someone bought the theater out. And she was like all upset about it. Well, here what happened was this organization, I forget who said it was, bought the theater out, but that anybody who wanted to go could have their tickets refunded and come and watch for free, that they were paying for it. And I don't know if it has anything to do with Disney, or could have just been like a local fandom group or something. I'm not sure who the organization was. But I had flashbacks to Captain Marvel. And I'm like, is that what they're going to do? Is like, oh, these organizations are going to join forces to buy out the theaters, organizations in quotes, being funded by someplace else. To buy out theaters and be like, oh my gosh, the theaters are sold out. And anybody who wants to come watch it for free can. It's kind of like, for $4 you can have a drink and popcorn and a bus ride and a Captain Marvel ticket and everything else. And it's kind of like, it kind of reminded me of that. Now, I don't know if that's related. I honestly don't know. But I'm just saying that my first thought when I heard that sounds like Captain Marvel.
Did you get little green Grogu cookies with that, or do you get
little macarons?
Is that what they are? The macarons? They sell those in the parks, don't they? Isn't that like?
I don't even know. They probably do. They probably like the popcorn he was eating in the one scene. And it's the popcorn like the parks. So.
Oh boy. So this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. The Mandalorian and Grogu won't lose money. It may not rescue Star Wars either. Yeah, it's cheaper because they're using a lot of stuff from the show.
I thought it wouldn't lose money either, but now I'm kind of thinking it might, or it's just going to barely break even.
Well, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Disney insiders break down how the feature will end up in the black, but if it can't also broaden out the audience, do the optics further hurt a franchise whose core fandom has become increasingly discontent? Well, whose fault is that, and are we allowed to say that now?
But beyond that, they were before like, oh, it's going to do fine. It's going to make money. You guys are like, the outlets were like that. It's going to be these big amounts, and then they keep lowering the amounts, and now it's like, well, it probably won't make a lot of money, but is it enough? And now they're still trying to cover for them.
It said domestically it could end up with 95 to 100 million for the 4 days. Okay, so they're saying domestic. I don't think it's going to come up with that. They said short of Solo's 103 4-day number of the Memorial Day weekend in 2018. Also, you have to adjust that for inflation. In other words, there may be apocalyptic worst opening for a Disney Star Wars movie ever headlines come Sunday and Monday. They ain't wait.
Except Clone Wars.
Except for Clone Wars, guys. Disney. I guess you have to specify as Disney. They didn't even wait. Like, here it is, right here. It's not even. It's freaking Friday, and they're already like, yeah, it's doing shit. The film wasn't expensive by Star Wars standards. It has the lowest production budget.
Still, they need to make back like $300 and some million.
Yeah. We ran the math on it, and they said, yeah, it needs to make 500 to 600 million to land in the black. I don't think it's going to do that. Solo got to 393 million globally. But Mando has a far better audience score. No. Don't you understand? Preview night is the litmus test for these kinds of movies. If your preview night sucks, the rest of the run is going to suck.
You know, and I'll mention this. I mentioned the other video too, the Mando audience score. Here's what got me about that. And I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, because every time I checked it multiple times, and I've made mental notes and had like, you know, I know I have checked movies on preview night to see if there was something, if we had an idea what the audience thoughts on it were, so we could do a video on it. And there was no audience score until the day it officially opened. They didn't have an audience score on preview night. Even people went, it wasn't showing like a score. You might be able to go into like the verified audience thing, but it wasn't giving it a score on the main page until the next day. But this one had a score yesterday, which I thought was odd. And maybe I'm wrong, but I know I have looked at it for multiple films before on preview night, and there was no audience score listed until the day it officially opened.
So this is interesting, though, too, given our experience. The Memorial Day tentpole is showing particular strength among moviegoers under 13 and men over 55, because they said boomers like Pedro Pascal's Clint Eastwood in space persona. Okay, so the theater we went to a matinee, but it was technically opening day. It was a matinee, but it was all old people.
There was a couple younger people in there, but almost all of it was older people, like 70s, I'd say.
I mean, like, it might be that they literally grew up watching Star Wars, because now they wouldn't
have grown up. They would have been adults when Star Wars came out. Easy.
Well, they would have been like 20 something, but yeah, like they've been watching Star Wars for years and years and years. Maybe they just, you know, I don't know, they wanted a day out. I don't know, but it's not I don't think it's a good sign. And again, we know that the 7 o'clock show is almost sold out, but I don't think it's a good sign to even have a matinee on opening day of a Star Wars movie on the Memorial Day weekend and have the theater be that empty.
Well, and it's funny because you said it's trending well with moviegoers under 13. This movie definitely has the highest body count.
Yes, it has a high body count. It was, yeah, if you don't count the Death Stars, but you're talking like just one-on-one violence. It
opens with
a lot of people getting killed.
Yeah, I'm like, it's definitely one of the higher body counts, but it does feel more similar to the original trilogy in a lot of ways. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't think it needs to make quite as high as they're saying. But then again, the marketing, they have spent so much money on marketing. This He-Man too has spent ridiculous amount of money on marketing, way more than what they're going to lead you to believe.
Yeah.
So who knows? It might have to take a lot of money because of the marketing and budgets.
Oh, I think He-Man's going to get hosed on the marketing, because I mean they're doing some really impressive stuff.
Their marketing is really great. I love it.
But I still think it's going to flop. I think the movie might actually be good, but I still think it's going to flop.
Well, this movie wasn't bad either, but I just think people just don't care. Like,
they just don't care.
If they had done this, 2021, 2022, okay, but it's too late. It's too far away from when it was popular. The Mandalorian was popular. That I just don't think people care. And then you had season 3 in there, and that just completely tanked it. So I just don't think anybody give a shit.
Yeah, and they're just like, they said it's not just Star Wars cannot be saved. They said one would expect any new Star Wars movie, particularly the first in 7 years, to boost viewership of other Star Wars title, but they said that it's not gonna probably do that. They're like, it's like they said, TV shows weren't great. One film cannot tarnish a brand, but several titles in a row that are widely viewed as less than worthy can become a drag on the franchise. And look, just shut up. It was The Last Jedi that knocked him the first domino. It was The Last Jedi when it became very obvious that the people at Lucasfilm now despised Lucas and despised his characters and wanted to ruin them. And then we just saw that pattern repeated throughout the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
with the exception of the Mandalorian and probably Andor. But it's over. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares.
I think the whole video could have been, it's going to fail because nobody gives a shit, and that was.
Well, yeah, but that's only like 30 seconds. That's a short. That's not a podcast episode. That's a short. Yeah, but maybe we should just do that. Like, hey, everybody, Mando and Grogu's going to fail because nobody gives a shit. Okay, bye.
The end.
The end. We're gonna
yes.
We're going to wrap it up because nobody gives a shit.
I can't believe you got 20 minutes out of this.
Yeah, all right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.